Hello, and welcome to this reading. This is E-Star Tarot, and this is a collective reading uh, for the good of those who are seeking answers. We are channeling in information to help us and see what we need to know at this time to help ourselves to be financially abundant. What is the key to financial abundance for collective? And what is their best course of action right now to allow abundance to flow into their life? What can we do this way? Because sometimes these cards can be a bit too thick for my hands. Can't quite get my hand around them. Tower. Woo! Okay. Got 6 of discs and 9 of discs. Jeez. Okay, well, we asked about wealth. We are getting discs. Or pentacles. So gain and success, but with the tower. Isn't that funny? Because 6 of Pentacles and 9 of Pentacles are such cards of, giving and receiving abundance. And pair with the Tower, it seems funny, but actually not really at all, because the Tower can sometimes really rescue us when we're really stuck. And I think this is about you changing jobs, changing careers. I think this is going to be everything tearing down that you did before. And maybe this has to happen in a very towery way to actually move forward, because you've been blocked from doing that. Maybe because of fear or just circumstances that didn't allow you to make a change. But now that's going to change. Yeah, fortune. You are getting good fortune that isn't going to look like good fortune when it happens, but it is. It absolutely is. Do I want to take out this card? I don't know. I feel like we're done. What the heck? 3 of Wands. Yeah, okay. So you're setting out on a journey. All right, we'll just do it. Prince of Discs. I had 2 more cards and it seemed like too many cards, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta take out all the cards that want to pop out. Okay, so let's just move this a bit so it's better on camera. I think Prince of Discs. I'm trying to remember. I think the Prince of Discs are like the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, Prince is the Knight. So 3 of Wands. So you're kind of just, it's exactly as I said, you're quitting your job, or circumstance is going to happen that is going to make you have to quit your job. Maybe you're even going to get fired, but it's not going to be a bad thing. It's actually going to be a relief, because I have a feeling you hate this job or where you were just was not serving you in the right way. It was not your destiny. It was not what you were meant to be doing. And for whatever reason, you had to be there for a time, but now it's time to move. Movement is happening. Destiny is, the wheel is turning. So you're just going to have to hang on for the ride. And you're actually going to have a lot of fun. You're going to go on a new journey. You're setting out 3 of Wands. Yeah, this is going to be, honestly, this is going to be way better than where you came from. So don't even sweat it. Yeah, the towers are tough, but it's a moment, and then it's past, and then we're on to better things. And that's not to dismiss the struggle of it. It's not easy, but I think you can do it. I think you've got the sturdiness here and support. I really feel like this is almost like a guardian, or like a spirit guide that's with you, that's helping you. Yeah, it's kind of got, I don't know why, with this helmet and the way he is, it feels very almost like a past self, like a past version of you that from another life that's actually helping you. I mean, I don't know if that's even a thing, but I think it might be. I just trust what I hear. So I think, yeah, interesting. They're really guiding you and they're helping this happen for you. So don't pass up this opportunity of, obviously if it seems wrong, it seems wrong, but yeah, adorn your world with spells infused with purpose and craft the life and craft the life you desire. Yes, you are crafting a life that you actually want to live and not one that was set out for you, that was prescribed to you. And 4 angels, the angels are almost feel like these rabbits in the background are like angels that are helping the circumstances come about. Yeah. This is going to be you with wreath making and having coffees with friends. Like, you're going to live just almost like a hippie life. And I'm laughing because it sounds awesome. Like, yeah, you're going to live a very different life. And it's going to be so much better than what you had before. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because you were struggling. You were not in the right place before. This was, and that's what makes a financial abundance hard, is when we don't like what we're doing, and then it's a block in a way, and it prevents the finances from coming in, the financial abundance. So yeah, painted eggs. In pursuit of your truth, you must master your craft. So part of that is doing the thing. What do I mean by that? I mean, if you want to have this life, you're going to have to do the things that you want and choose not to do the things you don't want. So, and this doesn't have to be a bad or like again, no stress or forcefulness should be had here. It should be, it's kind of not an unfolding, but we've seen the image of like a flower when it just loses all of its petals, maybe like a dandelion. Yeah, like a dandelion. You know how it transforms and it turns into a puffball? I've seen kind of like that. So it's like you're going into a new phase, and part of it is this shedding, and that can be tough, but at the same time there's these new things growing in, and that is your craft. You're finding your craft, you're exploring your craft, and that could be writing, could be music, could be art, could be being a social media manager. Even maybe that's just your calling. Like it's whatever lights you up, whatever you sparkle at. That sounds strange. Whatever makes you sparkle, while you're doing it, you sparkle. So, or what does Marie Kondo say? If it does not spark joy, leave it. So you're gonna take in the things that spark joy. Do I want... What do I want here? I think I'll take a Zodiac Moon card. I'm not feeling like this is a very busy reading. I feel like maybe this might be the last deck I use. Oops. Yeah, I think this might be it, but we'll see. Sometimes I change my mind. Spirit, I should say, changes his mind. This card is flipping out. What's going on here? The moon. Is that important? Interesting. The moon. Just gonna put it there for now. We'll think about the moon for a minute. Maybe it wasn't meant to come out, but somehow it feels like it was. I'm just gonna set it there for now. Moon. What's the moon trying to tell us? Moon in Aries, courage, believe in yourself. Okay. It's funny, we got the scared there, now we got the butterfly here. So insects. Moon in Aries. Ooh, that big rushing bus. Felt like a big surge of energy. moons. 13. Number 13. Courage. Yeah, it's just about having the courage to choose that life and decide that it doesn't matter whether I'm successful or not. I'm going to do it because that's the life I want to live, and that's the most important part. So that's all that matters. And that's a pretty powerful statement. That's a powerful choice. So I think that courage is your key. Yeah, have courage. Have faith in yourself. You deserve it. You deserve that life that you're going to build. So, go for it. Aw, Moon and Libra. Bring peace to your life and your relationships will flourish. Love. Yeah, so I think maybe this is what's to do with the Moon card here, because the Moon, your emotions, I think, because these are both Moon cards. Moon in Libra, Moon in Aries. I think you're balancing your heart. You're balancing a lot of the anger in your heart, because I can think of, Aries connects to Mars, connects to anger, planet of war. I think there's a lot of, there's a bit of darkness there in your heart, but you're bringing those energies into balance. And it's letting love in. It's choosing a loving relationship with yourself as well. Because when we choose to do the thing we want instead of the things we hate, it's an act of love towards ourselves. And so you're letting in love that needs to come out. And it's coming through introspection. You're going through what's kept you back, what's held you back emotionally. You're examining a lot of your wounds and the things that affect your relationship to everything else. If we're internally in chaos, our outer world is in chaos. So, if the Moon is in chaos, then we see the Tower outwardly. Well, I think this card is very helpful, though. I think, your courage and love, those are beautiful virtues, virtuous things. I think you're going to have a lot of support in this, too. You're not going to be on your own. You've got support. So don't fret. But it will be a journey. Yeah, a big journey. I'm going to take one card as this, I guess, feels like this should have been the first card as a kind of a significator to the whole thing, but let's just see what archetypes can tell us about anything else. Oh, yes. The Sword. So this is about cutting attachments and what needs to go away. Or I should say what needs to be acknowledged and processed and sent on its way. So look at those colors matching with the Moon in Libra and Aries, the pink and the orange red. So yeah, and this card talks a lot about, sometimes the most merciful thing is to do a clean cut. So, and it calls on, the courage to pick up the sword and make the cut. So, yeah, you have to pick up your sword metaphorically and go face the dragon in your heart and stab it. Just joking. You just need to, that really was a joke, honestly. I probably shouldn't have said that, but, actually, maybe you need to befriend the dragon. Yeah, that sounds more likely. The dragon's actually your partner. Yeah, now I feel really bad. Yeah, the dragon's not your bad guy. The dragon's gonna help you, actually. Yeah. So it's more about you just having the confidence to pick up your sword, and you will see a lot come from there. Maybe you need to do some cord cutting as well. That could be helpful. If you have anybody that is narcissistic in your life, or has an unhealthy attachment to you, or maybe you have an unhealthy attachment to them, cord cutting can be a helpful way to bring in supportive energies that will help you with that process. But again, always use your discernment, right? Don't just go willy-nilly doing spells here and there without knowing what you're doing. Yeah, I think, but if that's something you're comfortable with and you know what you're doing, probably could be very helpful in this situation. But you are going to pick up your sword, and you're going to wield it with such grace, because you're going to be a heart master. You're going to be someone who knows your heart, knows the struggles of the human heart. And it's going to make you be so skillful in your craft, because it's going to make it really authentic and beautiful. Yeah. Maybe it's just wreath making. I shouldn't say just wreath making. Like, maybe it's like a very idyllic, simplistic lifestyle, even just living that in itself is this act of goodwill to the world. Like, because sometimes just living a happy life brings the right energy into the world that needs to be here, and that's all you need to do. You don't need to do more. The thing you must can't talk. The thing that is most important for you to focus on here is to do that work for yourself internally, and do not fall back into rat race mentality. I must do this, I must do that. I am only worthy if I am XYZ. Do not allow that to interrupt this process that's happening, because this is the real work. This is the important work that actually really truly matters. Is at the end of the day, if we don't know ourselves, then what are we even doing, right? We could be going down a whole path that doesn't even matter for us, because we don't know our heart. And if you are going to go inward, I think you will see a lot of change in your life in the way that you actually want it to change. Yeah. So you're going to be there. You just have to keep going and have courage, have faith, and most of all, love. Yeah, love. Keep the love in your heart towards yourself, and that will allow you to have love towards others. And love towards yourself and others will bring in the most positive outcomes possible for you. Yeah. That's what is really going to help you. Okay, I think this was... Actually, is there anything else I need to say here, Spirit? Is there another card I need to use? I guess the butterfly cards can come out right now. Let's do... Got such chaos going on here behind the scenes. Gotta move some stuff here. Hold on. Alright. So... okay, so what changes can happen or will happen that will assist with this process? What life changes are occurring for this collective reading? Memories, again, we just got this card actually in a previous reading. Memories. So examining memories. Yes. Maybe you need to do a life review. Anything that would help you. Yes, forgiveness. Okay, so you need to life review and forgive yourself. Yeah, you need to go through what it is that you don't forgive, because I think sometimes you don't even realize that you're not forgiving yourself, or you're not treating yourself very well. You just don't even, you're so in a state that sometimes you can't even see that. So examining memories and really going back and really examining things might help you see what wound needs your attention. Decisions. Decisions. Yeah. So memories, forgiveness, and decisions. I think maybe there were some people in your memories that have hurt you, and it is a tough thing to go back in our memories and see things how they really were, because sometimes that will change how we perceive certain people, and we don't want that relationship to change, so we don't look at the memory. And that is so hard, because it's because it's almost like we're protecting someone who wronged us from the guilt that they should feel. Like we're almost protecting them from their own wrongdoings, which is very twisted, but sometimes that's how the human mind works. And you might have to make a decision about cutting this person out of your life. Yeah. That's the Tower. Ugh. I know. I don't like it either. Ugh. What a terrible... I mean, actually it's kind of not terrible, because it's going to release you from... Because subconsciously we blame ourselves for allowing ourselves to be in this situation. And I think part of this is seeing it for what it is and then forgiving ourselves for that. Yeah. You gotta go through seeing things as they truly are and then forgiving yourself. And it's sad because there's nothing you've done that you need to be forgiven for, but yet somehow we end up treating ourselves like we're the ones to blame, and we're not. And this also could be about, for some with decisions, it could be about, you've got to decide, do I forgive this person or not? What do I want my relationship with this person to be? Do I want to move on and forgive and move forward because I still want the relationship with this person is still valuable and I'm willing to forgive? Or am I not? Am I willing to forgive? That's what you need to ask yourself. Because forgiveness is not about freeing that person from, they'll always have the karma for what they did. So, they'll never be free unless they work through karma. It's not about who is right and wrong. It's about, what do you want to do now? Because you can stay in that energy where you're not processing things, but they're still disrupting you, still changing your energy from within and blocking things in order to preserve the relationship as it is. Or you can decide to move forward, and that moving forward might mean walking away, or it might mean that you put away those emotions aside because they're not worth your relationship. But to be honest, I don't think it's like I think maybe for some it might be a case where it's like, there is a chance for forgiveness that moves forward and you preserve a relationship. But I think for most, this is looking at things, seeing the truth, which is that this person isn't good for you and isn't kind to you. And they don't deserve your forgiveness, but you deserve forgiveness, to give them forgiveness, to heal yourself. I hope that's that's making sense. The message is reaching. Yeah, so you really consider doing I wish I could remember the name of this technique, but you basically go year by year and write out your year, go starting year 1 to whatever age you are, and you sort of conduct a life review in that sense. And I feel like that could be very helpful for you to really see your life truthfully, because I think sometimes you give yourself a harsh time and you don't really acknowledge all the hardship that you've gone through. And that's a protection to keep yourself safe from the pain of it. But now it's becoming such a distortion in your field, your energy field, that it has to go. So yeah, you need to decide to forgive. And that's not something like force yourself to forgive. It's you got to find out how to forgive. And that takes work. It takes memory examination. You got to look at it. I know it's scary, but what's scarier is staying in a frozen state forever. That's scarier. That's a scary outcome. So, I think that's the end of this reading. It's definitely been a bit of an intense reading, a lot of really scary things to face, but I really think you've got support here. I think you've got angels looking out for you. And your ancestors, your spirit guides, they're always with you and looking out for you and putting things in your favor. So you're not going to pick up the sword alone. But you need to pick up the sword for yourself and cut away a chain, cut away attachment that is not helping you, is draining you. But to do that, you're going to have to go at it in the memory way. In that I'm going to look at this and process those feelings. Yeah. Okay, well, I think you've gotten everything you've needed to out of this reading, so I'm going to leave it there. And I wish you all the best. I know this was really hard to hear. I wish I could give you a hug. But go slow with this. There's no one pushing you to rush, but just do it when you feel called to, and don't distract yourself from it. Yeah. All right. Take care.